All right, everybody, we're recording and we're live, hopefully. I might have to open a new window to see my chat, but I'm glad you're all here. You may ask me whatever questions you want, even if it doesn't pertain, but I am trying to discipline myself to stay on topic just as a thing for me. Oh, getting the echo. That's halfway good, at least. I tried to go on someone's stream for an interview today, and we both got confused. And, oh, hello. Thank you, Shar. Let me try this. Give me 1 second here. So, hopefully, this won't be too rambling. I didn't prepare anything officially. I don't have any hardcore verses memorized. I'm struggling with my walk with God just like a lot of you guys are. But that's kind of the thing. I like to present a little slice of honesty and reality that maybe you're not getting from other channels. But here, nobody steps on each other's toes. I'm not going to let somebody on panel who's going to just filibuster and just talk over everybody. Everyone gets a voice that takes this seriously. At the same time, we're a little looser over here because I'm a wacky personality. I have a hard time with my ADHD with studying and remembering, and it's the craziest struggle in the world. So I do this for accountability and to stretch myself, but also as a therapeutic outlet. Hopefully I can reach somebody's ears that need to hear it and can benefit in some capacity. I don't know. Hopefully God can use this in a way. You never know how he can use certain things in people and situations. He runs on his own timetable, but he knows every hair in our head. You know, the only thing certain is unaliveness. You know. So, what do we do? But whenever I've gone through a bad time, I've seen the highest highs and lowest lows. Everybody that's been a fan of my old channel knows this, but I'm here to help in any way I can in word or deed, but silver and gold have I none, such as I have give I thee. So that's kind of where I'm at now. So $20 to me is like $2,000. I'm trying to earn it for a little. I do custom cover songs. I do custom originals. I do little stuff like that. I can make you a high quality video, and I have like a sliding skill, stuff like that. But some people have been generous with that, but I haven't made any money through that in like about 10 months. So I'm trying to get back on the stick. It's just everything's a nightmare to me. Even playing guitar, something that should be fun, can mess with my brain. And you're like, God, what's the purpose of all this unique testing? Why do you have to be so creative even when you're punishing us or testing us? So when I'm going through the hard time, I'm always like, either God's mad at me or I'm mad at him or both, and it cancels out and nothing good could come of the situation. Because you always hear about the Christians that are always have so cheery response to everything. They go like, oh, they view everything through Christian tinted goggles, and they just wrap a tidy bow on. They go, oh, God's just refiner's fire. He's strengthening us, sharpening us through the testing. And I'm like, wow. Because sometimes it's like hard times are just that, and there's no deep meaning to extract. We're just trying to flap our gums just to distract ourselves from the craziness. But then I think, oh, that's kind of whatever the opposite of optimistic is, and that's not a good viewpoint to have. So I want to try to walk this tightrope in life. I'm split right down the middle. Where with my ADHD, it's so hard to not get too complacent and stuff. So you want to push yourself just enough so you're not tempted to stray off the path, but not so much that you worship your goals ahead of God and put all your eggs in the basket of something that seems tangible, but it's all going to burn in the end. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. Let's see. By the way, after this, we have our little concert thingy. It's full participation, just like all my streams. Please give me your request. If I can't play it today, I'll learn it this week. I need and welcome the challenge. I'm getting a little bit better slowly but surely, and one of my fans got me a guitar, so I'm very happy. But I got the hiccups, so that's not good to sing. But yeah, I stopped playing guitar and singing for 10 years, so this has been... I didn't think I would want to get back to it. Some people say, oh, the music never leaves your soul and all this other poetic, romantic stuff, but I don't know about that. Practice really accounts for a lot of stuff, you know. It gives tangible reinforcements in the brain and how we adapt and learn. But I resist that with my ADHD because it seems boring on the surface. But certain repetition is essential to brain function and development. So I'm working with my therapist to try to reinforce some good stuff like that. But whatever I can offer you guys, I can give you. But yeah, this week I'm going to be interviewed on this Workout Ladies platform. I wrote a little song for her intro song. She's very inspiring, so that'll be fun. Trying to get the word out about my music, but I hate talking myself up. Most people brag on my behalf, so I'm very fortunate. But not a lot of people have been able to find my new channel because I thought I was being creative, changing the name and the company name and experimenting. Plus, I have so many interests. I tried 7 different formats before. I'm just now finding my groove where I kind of like and can keep up with it and duplicate success on a daily basis. Before, it was so scattered, I couldn't rein anything in. People are like, are you a cooking channel? Are you a workout channel? You do Bible streams, you do reaction videos, you do concerts, you do stand-up comedy. And I still do all that on here in my playlist. But I'm learning how to use the algorithm effectively through ChatGPT suggestions and titles and segues and stuff. But I don't obsess over hashtags or stuff like that. But sometimes I'm like, it is tempting to kind of like worship clicks and views, or a little healthy competition is fun. It brings out the best in us if we let it. But we can't put anything on a pedestal before Christ. It's all just earthly, like a phantom thingy. But there's only 10 commandments. What if there were 30 commandments? Then every day would be like a juggling act. How can we be good enough to feel like we're saved even though we're not saved by our works? But the Holy Spirit is supposed to work in our hearts to want to procure good deeds. But we're all at our own stage on the journey. And it's weird because you think we would all just kind of, like when I was born, I thought, well, I'll always have a double backup plan no matter what because I'm smart. And I thought I would just be a surveyor and explainer of all that I see in life, just like a robot, taking things in, putting things out. I didn't think I would have a mental disorder. I didn't think I've had trouble learning in school, where my classmates totally didn't, and I was unaware for many years. I didn't realize I'd waste all that time. Like, God, what's your purpose? It's like he punished me in the most elaborate, fancy way possible. He didn't just, I didn't give a point of comparison. But like, why would he, like, what am I supposed to get besides anger and resentment out of the deal? Should I be happy to be alive? My circumstances a little bit better now, even though I'm twice as old. So I didn't see that coming. I definitely didn't want to live to 44 because I'm like, well, things are so bad now. Even if it does get better, something else will just take its place. It'll just be an ongoing doom and gloom kind of cycle of life, Can you guys hear me, by the way? You're being so quiet in chat. I think my thing is dying on me. I think I'll turn him up a little bit more. Test. Do. But yeah, you guys can ask me whatever you want. If you have a favorite Bible verse, you could share it in the chat. This is the time and place to do it. I'm not good with memorizing verses. I still got to get put together like an actual, real deal Bible study. And I got to keep that on. But I've had a huge brain reset and plummet every time I had to change my medication dosage. It's kind of been good and bad to sort out, and it's like I left a part of my personality behind temporarily. Sometimes I feel like I'm Han Solo from Empire Strikes Back, where they freeze him in carbonite, but his brain is kind of preserved overall. Sometimes I give God thanks for that aspect of it. He's brought me out of the flame, and he's been way more merciful than he had any right to be. Technically, he doesn't owe us anything times 2. We trust in the blood of his son for our sins and atonement. Something that was done many, many years ago, technically speaking, but is as relevant and vibrant now as anything ever. So we have to put our trust in that. But it's so crazy. I think all the times I tried to run away, but the reasoning doesn't seem good or relevant now. but it's not just maturity, it's other stuff too. Like I thought in my 40s I would have literally all the answers to everything. I thought, why not? I'm a thirsty mind for knowledge and all this other stuff. I didn't know I'd have crazy learning setbacks. I'd have to move. I'd be fired a million times, a bunch of breakups, all this other even worse stuff. Like, why? What is he trying to do? But life has been good enough on the good times that I can get a little snapshot of heaven, because when it describes it, it's everything minus the effects of sin. So like a bug bites you, that's not a sin. Technically, animals can't sin, but it's a symptom of sin. That's what happened in the Garden of Eden. When they sinned, then the animals start eating each other instead of just eating plants, and all these little annoyances and mosquito and bug bites and bee stings kind of came out. Before that, everybody got along and was chill, right? So that just reminds you of the imperfect world. And life's long enough for us to freak out at least once over stuff, the future, right? But short enough that it won't matter. We won't remember not remembering it, you know. And then think of all the times, like think of when you were a teenager and you had a zit on your prom night and it was the end of the world. And now think as an adult, that's the most trivial thing in the world. But we can never catch a break. That's the bottom line. Every age brings its challenges, and hopefully it's good stuff too. But it's really hard to go on some days. I mean, I've been suicidal in many ways, many stages of my life, for what I thought were really good reasons, right? And then I thought there was dignity in death, as far as like a nobility and a romanticism and all that. And then I'm like, well, I'm supposed to want to stay alive so I can serve God and help people. But man, I feel so Mickey Mouse about everything. I've crashed and burned with even little things. I've got fired from small jobs that I didn't know there was a break in my understanding. Everyone else seemed to understand the rules except me, and I was in the corner going, yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo, but I didn't know how to get the extra attention I needed to have it explained more slowly to me so it'd sink in. I thought, I just want to fit in. I don't need special whatever. But I do need special thingies for my learning style that I'm learning. ChatGPT can adapt to your personality. You can set little tabs for each topic so you can organize and you can search through to pick up where you left off on no matter what you're trying to solve and what you're trying to work through. And I could just feel my brain expanding and putting pressure on my skull because it's ready to leak out my ear holes. It's like I get a headache from my brain getting big. No, but I was overwhelmed at first. I'm like, I don't want to use it because then I'll just be reminded of all the stuff I don't know, and I have to lower my pride, and that's a stupid reason not to try learning something new, right? I mean, come on. But what do you guys think? Sound off in the chat. Let me know where you're at. How did you find this channel? What do you think I should do next? Let me know, because it's built it on your ideas. You guys have such great ideas. Go. How long have we been going? Oh, only 13 minutes. So yeah, is life just one big test? Or we have to go through this tunnel and come out the other side, hopefully in better shape than when we started? I guess there's different ways of looking at it, but like, there's so much randomness too. Like, the most evil people in the world have experienced good days. Now, people always say, why do bad things happen to good people? Well, what's your definition of a good person, first of all? It's someone who you think is good. They're Mr. Rogers on the scene, but behind the scenes, maybe not so much. And then, why don't you take that question, flip it around, reverse it, and say, why do good things happen to bad people? That's God's common grace and mercy that he bestows on everybody. And the signs and wonders are so elaborate. If you watch a nature show and it'll say, oh, the bite of a hippo is like dropping a car off the Empire State Building times 3. You go, whoa, how do they even measure that? You know what I mean? Like, God put all this stuff in as a wow factor just because he knew we would be stubborn. But if you just have to take a second away from this crazy day and age and really meditate and dig deep and just cry out to God and watch the animals, see the instincts, see the intellect, see the intelligent design behind it all. And that's what I'm trying to see in my daily life. I'm trying to meditate with that. Like a little jazz music and smoke before bed is very nice to calm my anxiety. But some people judge me for smoking, other Christians, believers, and stuff. But I don't care. Some people think it's a crack pipe too. But I lay all my cards on the table here. This used to be like a lifestyle vlogs. I'm trying to get better and take you guys with me. I covet your advice and your constructive criticism. Even your insults are kind of good sometimes. But now I've learned the difference between a troll and like a genuine like person with an opinion. I would never shut anyone down that didn't want to contribute in some positive way. But thank you guys for being encouraging and busting my chops when I need it. I'm really just trying to grow as a human being. And sometimes I put up resistance and it felt weird. And I was mad the next day or the next week. It's all part of this weird development God has. I don't know why. Like, have you ever done something that you can't really quantify? It doesn't seem to fall into any one category or something like that. Or God gives you the weirdest test in the absolute world and you're left just reeling going, wow, why am I the unlucky one chosen for this? If I told you the stuff I've been through, you guys would not believe me in a million years. And I'd like to get into it too, but each small footnote warrants its own little mini series or whatever, but only if you guys show interest. I had a much bigger channel before and I'm still licking my wounds and adjusting to this smaller niche group. But there's always people that email me and say, I binge watch your streams, and then I get excited and then I get sad because I'm like, well, I wish I would have put more effort into it. But I really want you guys to tell that I'm trying. I know it don't have to be good. But I really I really would like constructive criticism. Like maybe you could say, oh, you sucked here, but this topic might be right up your alley or something like that. You don't have to make a compliment sandwich where you balance the good with the bad, and I'm not that anal about it. But I'm just saying is like a for instance, I I have a lot of fun. But I'm trying to pare things down. It's a weird disorder to have because sometimes I'll lose track of time in the sense that it'll fly by and I realize, it doesn't seem like I was as constructive as I could have been. But then the opposite will happen. I'll brainstorm in 10 minutes and write one of my best songs just because I get a melody stuck in my head and try to flesh it out. So the thing that makes it hard is like collaborations, interviews, and like being on like panel appearances on other people. I'm just now getting that rectified too. I'm learning the technology side and I'm learning the communication aspect of it, where you both get on the same page, sometimes literally, to make things work. But thank you guys for helping me through this stuff. Questions, comments, critiques, insults, I can take it all. We got one lurker in here. Speak or I'm banning you. Questions, comments, critiques, insults, I can take it all. Speak, I'm banning you. Tell that I'm trying. I know it don't have to be good. But I really I can't tell if this audio sucks or not. Please tell me if you think. Like maybe you could say, oh, you sucked here, but this topic might be right up your alley or something like that. You don't have to make a compliment sandwich where you balance the good with the bad, and I'm not that anal about it. But I'm just saying, as like a for instance. But yeah, you guys have any comments? I think I'm going to switch to the Shure microphone. It's a little more clear. This one's supposed to have a better boost to it. Capabilities when I need it. Like a rounder, fuller announcer sound for like podcasters and stuff. Yeah, so I think I'm starting to notice some patterns that can be helpful. When I do the topical streams, I usually shoot my wad with what I want to say in the first 10 to 20 minutes. Then people start coming in and I'll get to the boring stuff, but then I'll start answering their questions and I'm having fun even if they're not. So I think a lot of people that come in at the last minute, they just remember me for the boring part where I'm just kind of stuttering and just winging it. But then on the other side of it, people like the personal attention. A lot of people in here are just huge narcissists. They don't care about the people in the chat. I'm not one of those. I'm just nerdy, quirky. I could be a little standoffish or hard to connect sometimes, but I do care and I make it up to people in more ways than one. You know what I mean? So that's my goal. My goal is genuine. Well, when I first came in here, I just kind of wanted to party. bang a bunch of chicks. I did all that and got it out of my system. I've kind of matured, so I'm not really into that now, although I'm still open-minded to try different things, but I might create separate channels for the different genres and hobbies and stuff that I want to put out there. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, these are going to be shorter, sharper, tighter streams, 80% scripted, but still a lot of fun. And I'll improvise a little bit when appropriate. But this is so crazy. I love it. Because my greatest fear was being stuck in some crazy career that was just one-dimensional, and God couldn't use my wackiness that spin off in a dozen different directions. So I'm learning to be corralled. I got to get a manager to help me through some stuff. Although ChatGPT is making a lot of stuff possible that wasn't just a couple years ago. And I don't know where I'd be with that good old ChatGPT and the Lordio. But yeah, I'm finally, my trolls are freaking out. They're seeing me have this success. I'm finally fulfilling all the stuff I promised for 3 full years. I didn't have any money, and I was finally able to get a new phone for Christmas. I bought the computer with my own money that I saved 3 full years. Now I'm all tapped out. I got nothing left. I still don't have a bank account. So that's kind of problematic. I just have my Cash App card, and I know some countries it's illegal, so maybe I need like Venmo or something where other people can make it easier to give me super chats. Because on my first couple channels, I got super chats, but my skills were cut in half from what they are now. So now I want to take my better stuff and doubly incentivize myself. But like I said, I'm not a machine. I'm 44. So I can't just like work with 0 donos times 2. I have to, but I do make it worth people's while. No matter what. So, but all the work I do for free, you guys don't see me behind the scenes complaining about money and going crazy. I should just do that on here. Just keep with my honesty theme and just keep it consistent. On here, I could rant and give a slice of life. I know this is an unorthodox Bible study, but that's what I like. I don't like some stuffy person just quoting a bunch of scripture and then talking about some obscure discovery of geography or something. That's not my lane. I like practical examples. I like to hear about the daily struggle. I like to hear about the success. I like to hear about the daily grind and stuff and share that. In some contexts, very boring. I hope I'm not boring you guys. But before I got so big, I got well over 3K subs. I let the chat do all the work on my Hangout stream. So they would just talk amongst themselves, share their meatloaf recipes, and ask me questions and flirt with me. And I would just make a stream out of it, you know. And they became the place to be, then good Hangout streams. I had panels too, at least a couple times a week. And then I just felt suffocated, you know. People want to like take advantage of me and my kindness. They'll use my panel just to have fights and to like spread their agenda or say, don't trust this person because blah, blah, blah. Then I'll find out they're the one that lied. And it just goes in a cycle like that. And then it flip-flops and then people do it all over again and they double back around and it's so nauseating, you know. It's nauseating. Oh, my friend's live. I think I'm going to go on her panel and talk some Bible stuff. Let me see if anybody's still hanging around. But I tapped into something I didn't know I would enjoy, but it became a double-edged sword. It kept me motivated to a degree, but 2, it also distracted me. So I really liked having a full chat, and I didn't think I would because I'm not someone who likes attention. I kind of shy away from that. I'm not a conversationalist, never really have been. I'm just kind of a musician. I like to share a joy or a feeling more than a conversation, if that makes sense to you guys. But as a novelty, I thought this is pretty great. And you guys were asking incredible questions, giving great compliments. You know, this was before people started grooming me and trying to steer me over to their side drama-wise, you know. the drama sector, but I've completely severed ties with any of those bozos over there. But that gets in your blood. You can be the nicest person in the world, and if you watch fighting all day to keep your adrenaline up, that could become sinful because it starts seeping into you and you start cussing and yelling. You start feeling bitter about life. I guarantee we are what we watch. As a teenager, I wasn't allowed to watch PG-13 or R-rated movies, and I had a huge backlash in my 20s. I went to work for Blockbuster. I saw every single movie in the world. The more R-rated, the better, right? Just because I was curious. But also, I really like the movies and the stories and stuff. And just kind of like daydream and drift off, and it's a nice form of escapism. But what was I going to say? Yeah, it's a weird thing. But I think I'm almost done 25 minutes ago. That's about as good as I want to get. The algorithm does not like these Bible study streams. If I wanted more views, I could have named it anything else and I could have got 100 people in here. But I'm trying to keep it honest and organized. I should, do my generic title and then retitle it afterwards conveniently, right? What do you guys think I should do? Please weigh in the chat or the comments. This was very non-traditional. I don't know if I talked in a circle, but I felt like I had something kind of to say that maybe somebody might resonate with. I don't know. We'll see. At least you guys know I'm real and honest and cool or whatever. I'm a great guy. All right, guys, I'll see you on these YouTube streets. I got a concert thingy coming up in about an hour, I think. I'm going to set up the stream now. Last chance for comments. Or if you got a favorite Bible verse. I'm a great guy. All right, guys, I'll see you on these YouTube streets. I got a concert. I'll listen back to my audio to see. It sounds too round and weird. It makes my mumbly voice even more mumbly somehow. Okay. Peace.